We begin at this hour in the Horn of Africa, where Kenya's defeated presidential candidate Raila Odinga and his running mate Martha Karua have gone to the Supreme Court to file a hard copy of their petition challenging the presidential election result. Earlier, Odinga and Karua filed an online petition. Odinga rejected the outcome of the poll, branding it a travesty. He narrowly lost to the president-elect William Ruto by around 230,000 votes, less than 2 percentage points. Dr. Nancy Omolo, a political analyst, joins me from Nairobi to unpack this latest development. Many thanks for joining us, Doctor.
Yes, good afternoon, Felicity. Thank you so much for inviting me to your TV station.
All right, Odinga has filed a petition challenging the result of the August 9 election. What are his chances this time?
All right, Facility, okay, Kenyans today saw Raila Odinga go to the court, and he was in the company of many supporters. And this is not the first time that Mr. Odinga is challenging a presidential petition. He did so in 2013. He was not successful. He did that in 2017, and the election was nullified. And that really was created a precedent in the country, and I think also in Africa. So even now, as he moved to the court, he hopes to win this election. He hopes that the court will either nullify or do a retally, and he'll be declared the presidential candidate. But in all, Kenyans are saying that, you know, they are not losers or winners in this process, because every time that Mr. Odinga has gone to the courts, actually this has helped shape and strengthen the conduct of the electoral process in Kenya. And that's why really we did not experience violence at this election time.
The outcome has been challenged, of course, not only by Odinga's camp, but also by 4 of 7 commissioners at the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC. Does this validate Odinga's argument? You said yourself that his previous cases have helped strengthen the electoral process.
Yes. So, you know, in this process, it's not only Honorable Raila Odinga who's gone to court. Even when he did his petition, he was the 3rd person doing the petition, because the first petitioner was by John Njoroge Kamau, just an individual who put in a presidential petition. And then there were also other 4 activists who put in a petition. And this also was enjoined by the Attorney General, Paul Kihara. So it's not the only one challenging this election. There are 3 petitioners who are really challenging this process. At the same time, when the results were announced early last week, actually 4 commissioners distanced themselves and said that actually the commissioner acted alone, because there were other 2 also who actually did not show up when the commissioner was actually announcing the results. So we are seeing a place whereby IBC is divided, and the majority are not. The majority of them are in a disagreement with the chairman of the commission. And one of the things that Kenyans would like to see interpreted in the court is that, can the commission make a lone decision and declare a presidential candidate, or are we going to have processes whereby, you know, before the winner of the election is declared, then maybe they have to sit down. There has to be so Kenyans want to see what processes does the chair, what are some of the important processes that we have to have in place. But you know, when you go to the court, one of the things that Honorable Odinga is saying is that the IBC process, presidential election, was a sham, that it was marred with irregularities, there was rigging, and actually they came with a truck. When they went to the court, they came with a big lorry of 39 voluminous document, which was submitted. At the same time, also, he's claiming that the IBC servers needs to be scrutinized, and also the spoiled votes need to be recounted, because the difference between the president-elect Ruto and Honorable Odinga was less than 250,000 votes. And we saw the spoiled votes coming to around 130,000. That's kind of one of the biggest numbers. And what Kenyans are asking is that, was civic education not done well? And can we scrutinize these spoiled votes to see really what was, why do we have so many spoiled votes like
All right,
that?
if I may jump in here, you talked about Odinga boycotting previous, going to court in previous instances. We know that in 2017, he boycotted a rerun after the Supreme Court overturned the election result. Then he said he had no faith in the Election Commission, but he came to contest this election. What really has changed since the last time he went to the Supreme Court?
I think the last time he went to the Supreme Court, the judge by then, the Supreme Court judge, David Maraga, they actually spelled out how an election process should take place. And actually, when you look at the 2022 election as compared to 2017 election, it was carried in a much more better, slightly more transparent, but that does not kind of say that there were no irregularities. So actually, they implemented almost three-quarters of recommendation by Justice Maraga. But Kenyans did not expect to go into an election with the same chair of the IBC, Chebukati. Actually, they say if it was one of the Western countries, when an election is nullified, you use a lot of taxpayers to run another election. Actually, that shows that there's no confidence in the chair. But being in our country and our politics and ethnic politics, you still find that Chebukati is still at the helm. And one of the prayers that Mr. Odinga is asking for during this presidential petition is that this election is null and void. IBC needs to run another presidential election, but they do not want the new election to be chaired by Mr. Chebukati. So one of the things he's saying that he does not want Mr. Chebukati to conduct this election if we are going to go for a rerun. But we Kenyans are still asking that why is Chebukati still there? When we nullify elections, Kenyans use billions of shillings to run the election. That shows that there was no confidence in it. But again, this position is very political.
I mean, so not a lot really has changed then. Before I let you go, let's ask about President Uhuru Kenyatta's not congratulating President-elect Williams Ruto, until now, despite promising a smooth transition. What are your thoughts?
There've been so many questions people are asking, is the president in the country? And actually, Kenyans just confirmed that he was in the country when a delegation from the United States, the senators, visited him. And also when the religious, a group of religious group also visited the President Kenyatta at the State House. And one of the things he says that he's committed to a smooth transition. And also we can see that when senior public officers come in and they're saying that, as much as the process is still going through the court, we already have President-elect, which is, William Ruto, and they've provided him the security, and they keep on actually updating him, on the security issues. So they're saying that President Kenyatta has not talked, but the senior government officials are already kind of communicating. But we expected him. Kenyans are looking forward to see what he's saying. But as some people very close to him have said that, for President Kenyatta, because also during the campaign, he came out openly and he was supporting Honorable Raila Odinga. So the best he can do is just to keep quiet and just wait for the court processes to be through, so that we know whether the court has upheld the election of William Ruto as the president of Kenya, or are we going to? Is the court going to nullify the elections and Kenyans are going to go for?
Dr. Omolo, I'm sorry to interject, but that's too much time will let us. But thank you very much for your thoughts.
Thank you so much. Bye.